We learned yesterday in the Rambam that a firstborn takes a double portion. How does it work? Let's say the father passed away and left 3 sons, or let's say 4 sons, and there's only the firstborn. So how do you take a double portion? So if there's 3 sons, you divide everything in 4. And then the oldest takes 2 quarters. And the rest, the other 2, take a quarter each. So it says if there's 4 sons, even though there's 3, and the oldest one will take the double portion, which means he will take 2 quarters. This only applies for a estate that the father owned till he passed away. But things that come to the estate after the passing, for example, the father had a brother that passed away after the father. So let's say the father passed away, a month later a brother passes away, and there's some inheritance that comes from there. The firstborn doesn't take a double portion then he's equal with the other 2 brothers. He only takes a double portion for anything that was in the estate by the father's passing. Anything that comes to the estate later, that wasn't part of the estate during the father's passing, it came in later, whether it's profit or whatever it is, there they divide it equally with all the brothers. So the double portion is only the chosim that he's muhsik now, things that he has now. Things that it comes later, there's no double portion. Now the question is, who is trustworthy to say that this is my firstborn child? Is it the mother or the father? Or the nurse that was in the hospital, they gave birth? So the Torah says an interesting thing. The nurse is trustworthy that the day that the child is born, that she could say, listen, this is the firstborn child, not this one, this one. The mother is for a month, and the father is forever. Why? Because the Torah gave and entrusted the father that he has the ability to say who's the firstborn child. So even if it's someone that we never knew he existed, all of a sudden he appears, I'm a firstborn. If the father says this is a Bechor, we trust him. Interesting enough that sometimes you have the case of the interesting case that a firstborn has to be to the father. So let's say the mother has 5 children and then she remarries to this father. And this father has a child with this mother. So the firstborn to this father is called the firstborn. Not the firstborn to the womb of the mother. So the mother could be, she gave birth already 100 times. But that's not a firstborn. A firstborn for inheritance is the firstborn to this father, to this man. So we're not looking at the mother's birth, we're looking at the father. What did he father? Which is his first child that he brought to this world? That's how we're going to look at the firstborn, not at the mother. This all applies once the Torah was given. But before the Torah was given, it goes also according to the mother. That's why Yishmael and Yitzchak, Yishmael was the firstborn to the father, but wasn't the firstborn to Sarah the mother. And therefore Yitzchak is the one that gets the inheritance, not Yishmael.